Hello, hi, hey, I am Jakara in Homan, and we're at the Twin Cities Film Festival. This is the red carpet, and I am joined by Ash Avildsen. That's it, right?
You nailed it. Never
Yes!
happens.
We're talking about Queen of the Rings, a story about Millie Burke, one of our first female fighters, wrestlers, who really paved the way for many female wrestlers today. And as a matter of fact, she was doing something that was illegal and unprecedented in the U.S. Tell me more about this film.
It's based on a book called Queen of the Ring, which is a fantastic book. Anyone who's interested in the movie, I cannot stress it enough to read the book because there's so much story. Tonight here at Twin Cities is actually the first time that Jeff Lean, the author of the book, who's also a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist for the Washington Post, he is seeing the movie for the first time. Some of his family. So Jeff Lean's here, but it's an incredible, fascinating, true story. Even if you don't have any interest in pro wrestling, just the unorthodox family drama and everything that happens, and it being in a time when it was illegal, like you said, it just makes for a really wild, fun ride. But it's PG-13, so the whole family can enjoy it.
Now, it's really, a slippery slope to direct a film based on a book because we have something to compare it to, right? And everyone is like watching it in anticipation, like, is it as good as the book? Is it as good as the book? So how do you make sure that Queen of the Rings, the film, is as good as Queen of the Rings, the book?
It's impossible because the book gets so much more time to tell the story. So it's a very emotionally torturous process to try and pick and choose what you're going to include and what to exclude for the sake of a screenplay. So, as like I said, the book is so great. There's so much in it. I think we did a really nice job of condensing as much as we could and choosing when we end the story for a theatrical film. The book goes on for about another 150 pages after where we end it.
That just means part two, right?
Yeah, it could be. But we'll know. We'll know next year once it's out to everyone to see. But this is the first time I've adapted from source material like this, and you really see why adapted screenplays have their own categories for awards and all that, because it really is its own like art form of taking from one and making it into a screenplay. And it was lost a lot of sleep over deciding things to leave out because there's just so much great story in Mildred's world and in the book Queen of the Ring.
Yes. And it shares in the synopsis that Mildred Burke also paved the way for not only just women to join as wrestling women, but also for people of color and women of color to get into the ring. Why is that important?
I mean, it's important for reasons that you can't even really put into words. But it was one of the things we absolutely included, and I think we did it in a tasteful way of establishing that, again, once we got into the cutting room, we did have a whole scene with Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson is actually why Billy Wolf, the promoter, originally got inspired to break down the color barrier and bring women of color into the ring. For running time, we did lose that scene. However, there's a moment where they're watching Jackie Robinson on the news, and then shortly thereafter, Babs Wingo and her two sisters are introduced. The book, again, goes much more into it and how Billy got inspired and all those things that happened. But Babs, Ethel, and Marva are in it. They did a fantastic job. And I don't want to spoil anything, but you also see how the magic of pro wrestling also broke down stereotypes and some of the kind of poison that the country had back then with segregation and racism, but with pro wrestling, because it's storytelling and they're playing characters, there's a really magical moment that Damaris Lewis did an incredible job delivering when the storyline mixes with what's really going on, and then you see what happens. But it's a moment that I think audiences that don't really follow pro wrestling will really understand some of the magic with it being theater and circus together, and why fans are so passionate about this world of entertainment.
Amazing. Speaking of storytelling and theater, how did you go about casting your production?
I'm a no-name director, so and I don't have huge hits under my belt. So casting is very challenging, especially when it's an independent film on a budget and it's a period piece. So we kind of just took matters in our own hands. We hired a great casting director, but we also, I'm a big believer of like do as much as you can on your own. I come from like a punk rock DIY background when I first got into the business. So, we reached out to some managers on our own. We got the script into the hands of some of the actors, and we were really, really fortunate to get the people that we did, given, where I'm at as a director, it being an indie film and everything else. And I think we really lucked out. They all do such a terrific job.
Seems to me like this is a fighter of a production.
It was an underdog production in the sweltering summer heat of Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, with hurricane or crazy storms and actor strikes and all sorts of surprises, but we got through it.
Oh, you shot this in the midst of the acting strikes?
Yes, and we had to stop filming at 3 a.m. sharp because that would have been midnight Pacific. We lost one day. Luckily, we were able to get the waiver because, an indie film, if you lose too many days when you're keeping the whole circus going with all of the cast and crew and the overhead, it would have just blown up. So we got very fortunate we did get it. But, yeah, there's one long steady cam shot that we did as a oneer that I'm always like, that was right before the strike. That was the only way we got the scene, but no one else will know. But, yeah.
Well, Ash, thank you so much for sharing this amazing production, Queen of the Rings, with us here at the Twin Cities Film Fest. I'm excited to see it. It's showing at 8:15 this evening, and as you mentioned, it's the author's very first time seeing it, so I can't wait to see what type of like hug or connection or smile or what type of facial expression comes from the author after this production. Any last words?
No, we're just really appreciative to be at Twin Cities Film Fest. They've done an amazing job here. It's beautifully organized, all the venues, and we're just really appreciative that we were invited to come.
Come on back. I'm with Ash. I am Jakara and Holman. This is the red carpet at the Twin Cities Film Festival. Continue to celebrate, continue to support, and we hope to see you here. Thank you.